first aid. So little portion of the lesson we have completed. We have learned about the first aid, what is first aid box, and who is a doctor, and what we have to do whenever there are any minor accidents and major accidents. We have learned about the first aid given for cuts and wounds. Then we have learned for sprain. Then we have learned for nose bleeding. Then a fracture. So about all these things we have learned. Now in the next part, that is today's part, we are going to learn about the burns. Okay, we are going to learn about minor burns, major burns, and there are chemical burns also. So open page number 324. Open page 324. Keep your textbook ready. That is pencil also ready. And we are going to do the checkpoints also, which are later in page number 325. Okay. So page number 324. First aid for burns. So what is the first aid which we are going to do for burns? So what are burns actually? So whenever your mother is cooking in the kitchen, sometimes by mistake the hot oil is going to slip and fall on your skin. Okay, and or else whenever you are playing, like during Diwali, whenever you are playing with the firecrackers and all, sometimes by mistake whatever light sparkles are there, the sparkles may come and like there may be a burn on your hand, or else sometimes the cracker it may burst in your hand only. Yes, so these are the situations where like there are burns on your hand or on your body. So what we are going to do for that burns, let us see. Now in this burns there are minor burn and there are major burn and there are even chemical burns also. So when you grow up, you are going to work in the laboratory. Like if you take a BPC or MPC, there will be a subject called as chemistry. So whenever you are doing some practicals and all, you are going to deal with chemicals. So few chemicals are not harmful, but few chemicals are little harmful. So when they fall on your skin, there will be a burn on your body. And sometimes there will be some kind of acids where we used to clean the floor and all. So even this acid is also a chemical. So sometimes by mistake the chemical falls on our hand, there will be a burn. So what we are going to do for this minor burns, major burns and chemical burns, let us see. First aid for burns. First aid for burns. Burns can be caused by boiling water, steam, hot objects, crackers and chemicals like acids. Burns can be minor or severe. Severe is nothing but major. So even when hot boiling water falls on our hand also, there will be a burn and steam. So whenever somebody is cooking the food or something, the lid is tightly closed. And suddenly if you open the lid over the vessel, so hot steam is going to come onto you. So with that also there will be a burn. But they are all like minor burns. And sometimes when there is lot of hot boiling water when it falls on you, that is a severe burn. And sometimes when cooking in the kitchen and if we are careless, our clothes may catch fire and there may be a severe burn. And whenever we are cleaning the floor with chemicals like acids and all, so that kind of burns we call it as chemical burns. So in this burns we have minor, major and chemical burns. So minor burns, what we are going to do for minor burns? In case of a minor burn, the skin turns red and there is a painful tingling sensation in the affected area. Minor burns can be treated as the following ways. So for minor burns, there is no need to visit a doctor. Simple first aid we can take it at our home. So what we have to do whenever there is a minor burn, whatever particular area is there, it turns into red color. Like here, some hot oil has fell down. So this particular part, it turns into red color. It turns into red color. And what will happen to that particular part? There will be some kind of burning sensation. So that we call it as tingling sensation also. So there will be a continuous burning sensation over there. So what we can do? So we can apply some antiseptic cream over that, or you can apply some aloe vera gel over that, or you can apply some oil also, coconut oil and all. That also you can apply on the wound. So here there is Navaino box, a clear gel of aloe vera. So a clear gel of aloe vera can heal burn that is minor or severe from forming a protective coating on the affected area. So whenever there is a burn, immediately if you put aloe vera gel on that, so there will be a protective layer forming on the burn, and there will be little less harm in further. So aloe vera gel is also going to protect your skin from the burns. And we can also put like coconut oil or cooking oil also, and sometimes ice packs also people put it like. So here you can see the following steps for minor burns. Let running cold water flow over the burn until the pain comes. So first thing is running water. So for suppose, so here I have a burn. I have to put my hand under the tap and on the tap so that the water is going to flow from the wound. So whatever cool water is passing through my hand, it will allow to get relief from the pain. So whatever burning sensation is there, that from that I am going to get relief. So the first step is you have to allow running water on the wound. So you can't completely run the water like that continuously. So the burning sensation will last for up to 3 to 4 hours and sometimes 1 to 2 days also based on the wound. But for some little like for some time you can allow water onto your hand so that there will be a little relief, and then later you can put some coconut oil or aloe vera gel. Apply an antiseptic lotion or cream to prevent the infection. So you can put some antiseptic lotion or cream. So cream I showed you like Soframycin cream is there, no? So you can apply this cream to get relief from the pain. So the second step is after putting the water on your hand, you have to put the Soframycin cream. That is antiseptic cream, or you can even put antiseptic lotion also. If that is not available, any moisturizer lotion you have at your home, that is Vaseline body lotion or something else like that, even that also you can apply. So in the absence of antiseptic lotion, apply a paste of baking soda and water on the burn. A paste of baking soda removes the pain and burning sensation immediately. So if this antiseptic cream or lotion is not available, then you can take baking soda which is available in your home. So it will be in the form of salt and all. So you can add some water to that so that it becomes into a fine paste. Then after it becomes into a fine paste, that paste you can apply it on the wound. Okay, so what this is baking soda cream is going to do, it's going to relieve the pain from the burning sensation. It's going to give you some relief from the pain. So this is about the minor burns. So what we have to do, first thing is you have to put the running water on the hand so that there will be little less burning sensation. Then you have to put an antiseptic cream or lotion. If antiseptic cream or lotion is not available, then you can put the baking soda or aloe vera gel or coconut oil. So all these things you can apply to get relief from the pain. And there is no need to visit a doctor because it is a minor burn. Then what we have to do if it is a major burn? So if it is a severe burn, or we also call it as a major burn. So severe burns can be treated as the following ways. In case of a severe burn, never try to prick the blister. So whenever there is a burn caused because of hot oil and all, like if this is your skin, there will be a bump on your skin. There will be a small bump on your skin. which is filled with some liquid and all. Okay, if you prick it, what happens? Some liquid type of thing comes out, and that is called as blister. It's called as blister. So whenever there is a wound which happens because of the burns, so mostly you can see the blisters on the skin. So what you have to do, you should not prick the blister. If you prick it, what happens? It becomes an open wound, so that there will be a possibility of germs to increase the wound. Okay, germs enter into the body and that place is going to increase. Okay, the wound is going to increase day by day. So what you have to do, you should see that whenever there is a blister, it should get rid by its own, but you should not prick the blister. Okay. So an open blister can easily catch infection. Therefore, it is advisable to gently cover the burn with a clean piece of cloth to protect it from the infection. Dip a sterile piece of cloth in a solution of baking soda and apply it on the burnt area. Severe burns should be treated only by a doctor. So whenever there is a burn like this, blisters are going to form. So see that do not prick the blister. So blisters you have to not prick it. Then the next step is, if a cotton cloth is available, you can cover it with a cotton cloth, or even you can take a sterile gauze. So this is a sterile gauze. So with this also you can cover the wound, because this is also very light, isn't it? So it is also very light, and with the help of sterile gauze also you can cover the wound. So here I have a wound. I have to tie that handkerchief around the wound. So how you have to tie it? First thing, you have to, whatever cloth or sterile gauze you are tying around the wound, you have to dip it in the antiseptic lotion. Like if Dettol is there, you can put that napkin completely in the Dettol water, and that napkin you can tie it around the wound. Okay? Or if that napkin is not available, sterile gauze you can take. That sterile gauze you have to put it in the baking soda solution. If baking soda solution is not there, like Dettol or Savlon you can take, in that you can dip it and tie it around the wound. So tie a piece of cloth around the wound. So these are the two main things which you have to follow for the severe burns. That is, you should not prick the blister. If you prick the blister, it is an open wound and germs, they will infect your body. Then take a piece of cloth, dip it in the antiseptic solution or a baking soda solution. Baking soda solution is nothing but, in baking soda you add lot of water so that it becomes the baking soda solution, but not cream. Okay, so in this cloth you have to put it in the water, baking soda solution, and then you have to tie it around the wound. So tie a piece of cloth around the wound. So these are the two main things which you have to follow for the severe wounds. And severe burns should be treated by a doctor, not by you. So minor burns, there is no need to visit a doctor, but severe burns you have to consult a doctor. Then chemical burns. So burns which happen because of chemicals. Sometimes people who are working in the laboratory, they deal with chemicals and all. And the students who are doing the practicals during their studies or something else, they deal with chemicals. Then your mothers who are at your home, they are cleaning the floor with acids and all. So they are also chemicals. So if there is a burn caused by a chemical, what we have to do? Chemical burns. In the case of chemical burns, it is advisable to remove any cloth from the affected area. Use plenty of water to wash off the chemical covered by burnt skin area with sterile gauze and consult the doctor. So if the chemical burn is happened, the first step is remove any cloth which is there on the affected area. For suppose here I have a burn. So whatever cloth is there here, we have to remove it. So I can put it little up like this. Okay. If here there is a burn, whatever cloth is there, you can cut it or you can put it little back, so that there will be little relief for the person whenever there is air touching the wound. Okay. First thing is remove the cloth. Then, what is the second step? Use plenty of water to wash off the chemical. For suppose here there is a burn because of acid. Then what we have to do, there will be lot of acid on the skin. So to remove that acid, what we have to do? We have to put lot of running water on the acid. We have to put our hand under the tap, so that because of running water, the complete chemical is washed away. Remove chemical with running water. Remove chemicals with running water. Then what is the third one? Cover the burnt skin area with sterile gauze. So as we have done for the severe burns, now here also we have to cover the affected part with the sterile gauze. So this is the sterile gauze. Okay, with the help of sterile gauze, if sterile gauze is not available, you can take any handkerchief or a piece of cotton cloth and then you can tie it around the wound in this way. So one or two layers is enough. In this way, one or two layers is enough. Don't tie it very tightly, leave it lightly, okay? Don't tie it tight. So these are the things which we have to follow. So these are the three things which we have to follow for chemical burns. The first thing is whatever cloth is there, you have to remove. For suppose here there is a chemical burn. I can cut it here or I can just simply move it back like this. So in this way, first step is you have to remove the cloth wherever there is a chemical burn. Then remove the chemical with running water. So here it's burnt because of some chemical like acid or something. Then what I have to do, I have to take my hand and put it over a running water, so that whatever chemical is there on the hand, everything is washed away. Then tie sterile gauze. So a sterile gauze, you can dip it in antiseptic solution and then you can tie it around the wound. So in this way you have to treat the chemical burns. And here is a chart. So here there is a chart for burns. Okay, so this is the chart for burns. So here are some pictures how burns are caused. Scattering liquid, fire and flames, explosions, sun overexposure, then correction of chemicals. Then you can see there is a pipe here, like we use it to put off the fire. So several things are there here, and towards the right side you can see. So whenever there is a burn, you have to put the hand under running water. Then here you can see there is the discoloration of the skin. It has turned into red color. Then you can put water or ice cubes. Then antiseptic solution is there that you have to put. Then a sterile gauze. Here you can see a person is tying the sterile gauze. So here you can see minor, severe and chemicals. So each year thousands of people suffer burning injuries, while some burn are very minor that can cause quite severe, causing permanent disfiguration, organ damage and death. Burns can be caused by these things. Based on the degree of burn, these are first aid to be provided. So if there is a severe burn, okay, when I also had a burn, yes, here. So it is little minor, so it is not visible that much clearly to you. So it has completely mixed. When I was around 8 years old, this burn was happened because of crackers and all. So as it is very minor, now it's just completely mixed with the other color of my skin. But if it is a severe one, if it is a severe burn or if it is a chemical burn, what happens? There will be a complete change in that particular body, and it is going to be like that lifelong for you. So be very careful whenever you are dealing with fire, and see that there is less damage with the chemical burns and severe burns. Okay, so this is about the burns, and next we are going to see about the animal bites. So first aid for animal bites. So we have many pet animals like cats, dogs, and sometimes whenever we walk in the forest area or wherever there are so many trees and all, there will be snakes and scorpions. So all these are animals, and in these few are very poisonous to us. They are very poisonous. So what we are going to do for such kind of animal bites? Let's see. First aid for animal bites. So what first aid should be taken for animal bites? The saliva of some animals such as dogs, cats, monkeys and wolves contains germs. When these animals bite someone, they release this saliva into the skin of the victim. This saliva can cause a deadly disease called as rabies. Hence, it is very important to treat animal bites immediately. So even human beings' nails are very dangerous. So there will be lot of germs in the nails. Yes. So whenever some people they start pinching and all. So whenever someone pinches you, immediately you have to wash that particular area with water. So whatever germs are there to the nails, that nails germs may enter into the body and cause severe infection. In the same way, there are some animals where the saliva of that animal is very dangerous. So the most common thing you know is about dogs. Yes. So there are some naughty children who tease the dogs on the road, isn't it? So who tease the stray dogs. Stray dogs are nothing but the dogs which move on the street lights. Okay, so whenever you tease the dogs, or if the dog condition is not good, if you don't do anything also, sometimes the dog may come and bite you, isn't it? So whenever there is a dog bite, in such cases what we have to do? So whenever the dog is going to bite you, so it's going to bite with the mouth, and inside the mouth there is saliva. The watery substance inside your mouth is called as saliva. So that saliva, it contains many germs. So whenever it bites with the teeth, along with that the saliva is also going to enter into your body. So that saliva, it has many germs and virus, and with the help of that virus you may get a disease called as rabies. You may get a disease called as rabies. In olden days there was no vaccine for rabies. Then later there was a vaccine for rabies, now it is treated. So whenever there is animal bite like dogs and monkeys, when they bite, because of the saliva, you may get a disease called as rabies. So what treatment you can take for rabies? Let us see. Wash the wound with soap and water to remove the saliva. Apply an antiseptic on the wound in order to prevent the infection. Take the victim to a doctor. The doctor may give anti-rabies injection. So wherever there is a wound, like for suppose the dog has bited here, you have to wash that particular area completely till the saliva is removed. You have to wash that particular area till the saliva is removed. Then immediately you have to take the person to a doctor. So here there is a chart for dog bite. So first thing is you have to wash it with soap. Then you have to take the person to a doctor. Then here you can see what to do when a dog bites you. Press. So here is step 1. Check for swelling, redness, warm, pus as the bite can cause infection. Gently wash the wound with soap and warm water. Then this is third step. Press a clean cloth over the wound to stop the flow of blood. Then apply an antiseptic on the wound and cover it with a sterile bandage. Then take the victim to the doctor. They may give an anti-rabies injection. So these are the things which you have to follow. First thing is you have to wash it with water, then tie it with a piece of cloth. Then if you visit a doctor, the doctor is going to give the person an anti-rabies injection. So this is about the first aid, which we give to a person for dog bite. Okay. So in the next session, we will learn about first aid for snake bite, then preventing poisoning, then safety from fire and all. So your homework is you have to do page number 325 checkpoints. So do page number 325 checkpoints in the textbook. Okay. So that is your homework. So read it, read the statement and write whether it is a true statement or false statement. We are going to meet in the next session. Thank you.